What's up, guys? It's the next day, back at it again, working on installing the Ripp Supercharger. First thing we'll be doing today is draining my car's coolant. Got me some fresh Mopar concentrate. Oh yeah, and yeah, so we're gonna be draining the coolant. You can reuse your coolant if it's pretty clean, but I'm just gonna be taking this opportunity since I'm draining it anyway to just put in some new fresh coolant. I actually did a coolant flush not too long ago, like 2 months ago or something. As you can see, the coolant in there, it's pretty fresh looking, but I used some generic pre-stone oak coolant, and I want that Mopar coolant because that's what's recommended for my vehicle, and hopefully it will extend its longevity. So I just feel like it's probably the right move to go with. But yeah, I just got 2 gallons of the Mopar concentrate. Gonna be mixing it. Got my distilled distilled water, fresh from Walmart. Gonna be mixing that together. So yeah, let's get into draining the coolant. Here's the front of the vehicle for some reference, and we're just going underneath the radiator. It's gonna be on the passenger side, front passenger side of the vehicle. You can see right under here, there's even a little drain thing. Here's the petcock, that's gonna drain out your coolant. So just gonna twist that, and don't pull it out all the way or it will break. Trust me, I learned that the hard way. I had to keep buying these. I'm like, why do these keep breaking every time I take it out? Don't take it out all the way. Just do it enough to where it drains. But yeah, oh my gosh. So yeah, I just got these containers. Those just hold 7 quarts, but I got 2 of those to switch out, and then a big bucket right there to put it in afterwards. So also when you're draining it, helps to have this cap off, so there's airflow, and then you can also squeeze some of these tubes. Might help too, get some of that coolant out. So I'm gonna start draining that. I also just real quick took out these 2 10 millimeters and then just kind of lifted up my coolant reservoir and just shaking it down into that pipe at the bottom right there where it connects, just because there'll be some coolant in here and a little bit in the bottom, so just to get as much of it as I can out. So I've drained pretty much half the coolant in my car. Also, I just fully took that out. There's just a hose and a hose right here that you just take off, and I just rinsed out the inside of it and have it outside drying off. But yeah, I put a little bit of coolant from inside of there from the coolant reservoir. But as you can see, I only gotten half the coolant out. So next, what I'm gonna do to try to get some more coolant out is I'm just gonna set the wheels back on with like 3 of the lug nuts, and then I'm just gonna jack it down, and I'll probably like take the jacks out, and then I'll probably let some more out, and then I'll also jack it up like on one side and then the other side with the other side not jacked up, which also should help get some more out. And then we're also going to be taking out apart later today the coolant transfer case, I think it's called. It's this thing like right here, but there's probably gonna be coolant in here too that's gonna come out when we take that out. So hopefully that'll get most of the coolant out. I want to try to get as much of this old coolant out before I try putting in the new coolant. So hopefully this will all work out as planned, because it's kind of hard to not get all the coolant out without running your car, because you can run it and that kind of can help get more of the coolant out. But we're just gonna try doing it this way. At this point, I've drained the majority of my coolant. I have about a quarter filled of the second 7-quart pan, so most of my coolant's out. If I end up not being able to get pretty much all of it out, I'm just going to probably end up running just straight distilled water in here to kind of rinse it out and then drain that out and then put in the Mopar coolant. So, but for now, I'm gonna work on putting on the Ripp coolant transfer housing. So to start off, we're just gonna remove this hose right here, and there's 2 clamps right there, and then also we're gonna remove this clamp as well, disconnecting this hose. Just use one of these tools and just, you know, push down on it and then pop it off. Coolant's probably gonna leak out of these, so be prepared to clean that up. After removing your hoses, next you're gonna take out the thermostat housing and thermostat, which is just located right here. I already took mine out. There's just 2 10 millimeter screws, so one and then another one on the bottom, and you're just gonna take that out Pretty simple. Next, we're gonna remove the coolant transfer housing, which is this black piece right here. There's gonna be 11 10mm screws going all the way around it. We're going to unscrew those and remove it. I'm going to leave the screws in the spots that they are located on the part when I take it out, because in the manual they say to note where the screws are. I'm assuming they might vary in length, so I will be doing that, and I recommend doing the same. I have completely removed the coolant transfer plate. Now we'll be prepping the new one for installation. Here's the one that Ripp sent me. Looks pretty cool, has a Ripp logo on it. Seems just a little bit different from the OEM one. This one seems shallower and it doesn't have this rubber gasket seal. Instead, they provide this paste, which I'll be applying around the rim of this, all the way around. And then they say to let it sit for 15 minutes so it can get tacky, or yeah, that's the word they used to describe it, tacky. And also, they have a new thermostat and housing for it, which I will be also installing after I put that bad boy on. And while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'll probably just clean this area off, which they recommend doing. I already vacuumed. There's like this old paste sealing stuff around it. I kind of was using the shop vac to get off, and I'm just gonna take a cloth and wipe the inside as well, just so it's as clean as possible for the new one. Here's what it's looking like after I put the paste on. So I just try to do a thin layer of it, and just to prevent making sure when I put the part on nothing like squishes inside, I just went around the inside with these Q-tips here, just kind of going like that, just getting any extra basically off. So now I'm just gonna wait. I just cleaned that area off, and I'm just gonna wait a little bit for this to dry more and then put it on. There we go, it's all installed, looking pretty dope with the Ripp logo on it. I forgot to mention this earlier, but when you're putting this piece on, I just hand tightened all the screws down and then evenly went around and used my ratchet to tighten them all down, kind of like you do with your tires, just so the metal doesn't warp. So I keep that in mind when you're putting it on. Now I'm going to install the new thermostat and housing for it. So it's just going to go right there with the two 10mm like the old one. And then I'm going to put these tubes back where they go. The coolant transfer case came with this piece, so I just decided to swap out the original one for the new one, since there might be a reason why they included this. So I just put that one on right there, connecting to the new piece. Now we're going to need to remove our serpentine belt. Here's the front of the engine, and then right here is your tensioner. And I'm just using my ratchet without a socket. It's gonna be kind of hard to do one-handed, but you can just stick it in that hole, and then I just have it to where you just basically you just lift it and push it to the left, and then you're gonna do that, and it's gonna loosen and allow you to take off the belt. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Now we're going to need to remove this 13mm screw located right there. And then right underneath this, there's a pulley. It's the idler pulley. And we're gonna be removing this as well. And you can see it right here. Once you have finished removing those, now we're gonna install the new pulley. That's what that's looking like. It was in the same box as the coolant transfer case. And it's just gonna go where that 13mm screw we took out was. Kind of weird, but that's where it goes. And then there's also this stud and spacer, which was in this bag, which was in the box that my supercharger was in. And this is gonna go in where the old pulley went. So I'm gonna put these in real quick. So now we're going to be removing both of these 16mm bolts, which we'll be using later. And then we're gonna have to take off these plastic things again. And we're gonna be removing the upper radiator supports And then I'm gonna be adding in these spacers, which in the manual, there's no pictures for these. They just say like, put in the spacers. And I'm like searching through all the stuff and I'm like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like literally, I have no idea. I was literally about to just put this in there with these. I'm like, oh, it has washers. It's probably that then. But I just skipped ahead in the manual and I was like looking closer at some of the pictures and pretty sure it's these things. So yeah, in case anyone's confused about that as well, these are the spacers and they'll be going in front of this. So I'll work on installing that. Just finished putting on the radiator supports. That's how it turned out looking. This part doesn't connect in here perfectly anymore. It's hanging on for dear life. Basically pushes it out like 2 inches or something. Also, this coolant hose, we did not need to put back on, so I'm just gonna remove this, and then this, I'm pretty sure gets flipped going the other way. And then I'm gonna put in this new one because this space needs to be clear for the supercharger. So it doesn't make sense that this is right in the middle. And then they're also wanting you to remove 2 of these plastic pieces on this guard going over the fan. And I'm not sure if it's this 2 or these 2. It says the 2 center ones, but I think I might try just putting in the supercharger to see how it fits, and then based off that, then remove the 2 plastic pieces. Got the new upper coolant hose installed. As you can see right here, the factory one clamp thing, yeah, it did not. It barely fit over this new hose, and it definitely wasn't about to fit over the hose in this the thermostat housing. So when I go to town tomorrow, I'll just have to pick up one more like this. It's more adjustable or something, so I'll just leave that like that for now. But this one I was able to get on where it connects into the radiator. Barely, it was a struggle, but got that connected. Also, yeah, how you install it and remove the old one. It's just a connection right here. You just, you know, squeeze that, pop it off, and then right here, squeeze it, pop it off, put the new one in, kind of like this, with the candy cane looking side going into the thermostat. Oh, also, I did cut these 2. I thought it was these 2, kind of made more sense because you're cutting it for the intake, and the intake is going this way, so I feel like it makes sense that'd be that too. So just got some powerful garden chompers, and I just chomped it off. A little bit of scissor action, but yeah, now I'm about to put in the freaking supercharger. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be dope as hell. But yeah, so it goes in like that. You see with that facing downwards, and basically on the back, this thing's kind of heavy. Next to this pulley right here, we're gonna be attaching those with our OEM screws that we took out right back into here. So basically we're just gonna set it right in here and then use those screws into these holes. So I'm gonna do that real quick. We're putting in the supercharger. It's about to be the best moment of my life. All right, so here, record this. This bracket down here, I'm pretty sure it connects to this bottom hole on the supercharger, and then I'm just using one of the nuts they provided to screw that on afterwards. And then these 2 top holes going in the where we took out these 16mm bolts earlier. So let's slide this bad boy on. Yeah. All right. Oh my gosh. This is the moment I've been waiting for months. It's not drivable, but at least I can say my car has a supercharger on it.
Yeah. this side's easier. Got a little bit more room.
A little more time consuming than I expected. But that's pretty much everything with this project. A little bit more time consuming than I expect. And I'm just gonna pop this 10 millimeter nut on that bottom support, but freaking yeah, that's it.